hurry. Hitting all the topics like the clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out smackdowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by TagMeADate. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
I have waited a long time to be able to get to this podcast. Welcome, everyone, to the War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate.com. That doesn't even exist right now, but it will be back, I promise. Karrion fucking Kross is back. I was such a mark for Karrion Kross early on, and I said early on when he first was in the Indies, he was going to be a big deal. Then he got to NXT, and I said he was going to be a big deal. Hence, world champion in NXT. And then they fucked it up. It up. And brought him up to the main roster with some bondage gladiator shit and without Scarlett.
Yep.
And then his debut, you have him lose to Jeff Hardy. I love Jeff Hardy, but you have him lose to Jeff Hardy on his debut in this fucking bondage. He was doomed from the beginning because he was an NXT guy.
Yep.
Not a Vince guy. No more Vince. Triple H is driving the ship now. And we got Karrion fucking Kross and Scarlett back and debuted the way they should have fucking debuted the first go around. But either way, Triple H did the right thing. Brought them back. TikTok Roman Reigns. Now we have somebody to talk about. Now we have somebody that's legitimate to dethrone the head of the table. I love you, Eddie. But listen, we needed a guy, right? We keep saying it. Who's going to be a guy?
I mean,
who's
in
believable?
reality, yes, you do.
Karrion's believable.
You do, yeah, exactly. 100%, 1,000%. The guy is a legitimate badass. He's like you said, you bring someone like Karrion Kross in, and in the beginning, and you just did not do it justice when Vince had, brought him up. He would broke ass demolition. Did not, do it, justice. But him right now, with Scarlett, with all that, that's a legitimate badass, and him challenging Roman can actually, do something. Again, I'm a Roman fan, but definitely it's a huge threat to the title. I can honestly sit there and say that.
And it's somebody that's believable, right? So
100%.
It makes it so. All right, I just want to say this. So this was the first SmackDown now under the new McMahon Helmsley era, so to speak. So expectations are now high because let's see what Triple H is going to do. And he delivers. SmackDown was fantastic from the very beginning. Eric, put your earmuffs on if you want. But they start off the show with McAfee and the football and the replay of the nut shot like 20 times.
That was hilarious. I was
fucking hilarious. It was so funny. It was so well done. I also want to point out too that more changes that Triple H has made. The banned words are gone. You can call them wrestlers now. Like there's certain things that now are and promos are going to be more off the cuff and not so scripted, and they're going to have more influence, and he wants to hear all ideas, all great fucking things, all great things. SmackDown was a great show from start to finish, and you could see some of the differences already. A lot of the smaller guys got more TV time. Ricochet had a match that went to commercial and back and he won to kick off the show. So guys now that we haven't really seen get the time, look at Shayna Baszler in the gauntlet match. Now you got Shayna Baszler as a number one contender, and we'll get to that too, because there's also something now that they kind of stepped in shit, right? And they don't know what to do. I'm just disappointed my Johnny Gargano didn't come back last night. Listen, don't be upset. All in due time. You can't have all the surprises at once. No. And I think we would all just be as happy as if he showed up in AEW. So it's a win either way, and it's going to happen. He said it himself, I'm going to land somewhere. Keep watching. So it's a matter of time.
Yeah, he's enjoying time with the family as he should. Newborn baby, spending that time after wrestling so many years, and you gotta imagine that he wants to take that time to be with his wife and be with his kid. And hey, no harm in doing that, man. I'm a family man first, so all day, every day. But like I said, Johnny Gargano will definitely be back. And like you said, no matter where he lands, we're in for a treat when he does, land somewhere. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a home run situation, whichever way he goes. So we're good. Yeah, Tara, we had a feeling. And thank you as always for tuning in. But we got to talk about Liv Morgan, because we talked about SummerSlam and how I said I thought the match made Liv look very bad. And we all kind of agreed. And even if you go on social media, it didn't give Liv... It didn't make her look like a believable fighting champion, right? Especially going up against somebody like Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So now you have her come out and explain why she tapped. She got booed out of the fucking building.
Yeah.
The fans flipped on her. So now what? And I'm not saying that she's now going to the fans are now going to be completely not behind her. I still think she's going to be fine, and I think the crowd's gonna, but at the end of the day, it's not very believable. And now you're putting Baszler in the mix. How does Liv get over on Baszler? I mean, at this point, to be honest, I'd rather see Baszler Ronda Rousey for the title. To me, that's a bigger draw.
Oh, well, yeah, 1,000%. I mean, they definitely backed themselves in the corner. With Liv. I don't know how she escapes this one with Shayna, because Shayna's obviously a legitimate badass too. You have her; she could easily take that strap. I don't know, man. They really, I don't know what they're gonna do with this.
Yeah, as much as the fans can be fickle, the booking did not help her one bit.
Oh,
the way that match ended, and so I guess we really shouldn't be too surprised that she got booed, but I don't know. It's a shame.
To me, this is the only way you get out of it. You have the match, Ronda interferes, big DQ, Fugazi finish. Now, next pay-per-view, you have a triple threat. Liv can take the fall, and either one of those two, Ronda or Baszler, can become champion at that point. Because I don't think you take the title off Liv already either. You're not going to do all this build to have a short reign.
You do exactly what you say, or you have that exact outcome. You have it or you can have it go the other way, where in the triple threat, obviously, Shayna and Ronda can go at each other and beat each other to death, and then she could sneak and get the win that way, and Liv can hold on to the title that way. There's a lot of different things. Yeah, you're right, man. That's a good one, Steve.
Right? I mean, you can even use that for the world title situation now too, right? So what do you do now? Do you make this a triple threat match? Or do you have Karrion interfere and then it turn into a triple threat at the next show? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? Because USA Network, from what I understand, is not happy about not having a steady world champion on the show, and Roman is not on Raw very often. So the rumor is they're going to take one of the straps from Roman. So it could very well go on either Karrion or McIntyre.
Nah, 100. Yeah, that's probably the way it's gonna go. Like Eric's been saying it for the while, and I kind of agree. I do love the fact that that there would only be one champion, only have one champion. But I guess seeing it at the lens of obviously Roman has earned the right to have some days off and not be on every show, do a lot of live events. So what do you do in that situation, right? You have to, if the networks are not happy, you have to try to make them happy, obviously, and try to best do that. And you'll probably have to have those, as much as we all probably hate it, you're probably going to have those dual champions. You're probably going to have the WWE champion and have the WWE Universal champion and have a champion on each show.
Or what we clearly have seen is that the U.S. title in just one Raw last week has been elevated to the way since Cena had it, basically. To it's very important, and they're emphasizing it, and I love that.
Yeah.
I agree 100% too. But I mean, like you said, like Steve just mentioned earlier, man, networks ain't looking at it like that. They're gonna look at it as who's our world champ.
Yeah.
And regardless of as much as we say they're pushing, these guys now, the IC title is going to be probably, somewhat relevant again. The US title is going to be somewhat relevant again, and being out there and being the main stage and being the main event, they still want their guy, their champion, the main title. So.
Well, right, because to them it's a competition with Fox, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they need their champion. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. I also love that Sami Zayn got more TV time. He's back. I love the whole thing where he thinks he's honorary bloodline.
Honorary Uso, bro.
Right.
I love that whole thing backstage. That was awesome.
It was great.
And the fucking Usos.
It was so funny. It was just.
Hey, I'm not sure. Are you guys
done.
getting my text messages? Do we have a service back here? I'm not sure if you're getting them. I mean, that shit had me in tears.
Yeah, it was just well done. I mean, it's great. Also, Nakamura, Ludwig Kaiser, which leads to Shinsuke versus Walter, or whatever the fuck we're calling him now, for the IC title.
Yep. No, I mean that Clash of the
Castle should be a great match.
It seems to be shaping up to be, pretty good. That match actually is, correct me if I'm wrong, is that going to be on SmackDown this week?
Yeah, it's going to be this week on SmackDown.
Nakamura versus Central Perk
versus Gunther or Walter. Walter Gunther.
Gunther
Walter.
That's going to be a badass match too.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be. Viking Raiders dominated Kofi Kingston. I love what they're doing with the Viking Raiders. They're so badass. I'm good with them being heel. I like the face paint. I don't love the new music, but they're just fucking killing it right now. So I see big things for them. I'm pretty stoked with that.
I would say the women's division in general has gone up a step as well.
A step? Dude.
A bunch of steps.
I mean, well, you got to think about it, right? When have you been able to sit there and say top women right now, right? Okay. You got Charlotte. She's coming back anytime soon. She's still a top player. You got Charlotte. You got Liv, Ronda, Baszler, Asuka, Sasha and Naomi are coming back. Ladies and gentlemen, they came to terms. Everything I'm hearing, it's just a matter of time. Somehow, I think they're going to end up in this tag team tournament. Maybe not. But either way, I think they're coming back. So you got to count them too. You got Bailey's back. You got Io Shirai now. You have Dakota Kai. That's 10 right there. I'm not even done. Doudrop outside
Becky.
of right. Then you got Becky, Bianca. Like the list goes on and on. You have a stacked fucking. This women's division is more stacked now than ever before, and I actually think at this point exceeds AEW's women's division.
Oh, 1,000% exceeds.
So
1,000.
So these are all changes that Triple H has done. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Tegan Nox return soon. You know, all the people that he groomed in NXT before it became 2.0, you know, like you're going to see a lot of them coming back. Look at Dexter fucking Loomis, which we'll get to on Raw because that was a fucking clusterfuck of shit that we got to talk about too. But it's just like the changes you could see them. You could see the changes. And you're going to see more and more as things go. It's so great to see a new vision. And it's making me excited to watch wrestling again on the WWE side. I will say this too. For the love of everything that's holy, bring Raw back to 2 hours.
Amen.
That would be icing on the cake.
From what I understand, and I've heard or I've read like comments by Triple H himself, who has said that he's for changing it back to 2 hours.
Then why are we waiting?
Right.
Do it now. I'll tell you where the problem's going to be with the advertisers.
Yeah.
Because that's now an hour of advertising that won't happen.
And the network itself, too. USA,
Fuck network. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? You're asking us to watch Lord of the Rings every fucking Monday. Like,
right.
Fucking Titanic. Like, what do you want? It's, but I will say, this week's Raw, I wasn't like exhaustedly bored.
Yeah,
like I made it through the show, without much of an issue. When did the Dexter Loomis thing happen? Because I totally missed that. So, all right, so let's get to that. So we'll jump over to Raw and we'll jump to the end of Raw. So it was very weird. So basically, the end of the match, AJ's Miz, no DQ, good match. AJ wins. AJ's celebrating. All of a sudden, there's commotion in the crowd, and all you see are a cop and a security guard, like dragging this guy away. And all of a sudden, the guy looks up, and it's Dexter fucking Loomis. But it's weird the way it was shot, which could be a good thing because we're all sitting here wondering if it was a shoot or if it was, part of the show. So because it looks almost like the cops just thought some guy was like trying to run in and they were like legit bringing him out. But was that part of the story to make us think something a little different? Either way, I've been hearing that Dexter Loomis is one that Triple H wanted to bring back. So it doesn't surprise me. Dexter Loomis, for me, like I was never like blown away by the guy. Maybe it'll turn me around. I don't know. But either way, Triple H sees something in him because Dexter Loomis is back. Oh, no, you didn't mess me up at all. I wanted to get to it. We're going to start from the end and go back. It's all gravy.
And I think, and I'm not sure, I've heard rumblings that he was the one driving that car in the background of the Kevin Owens interview.
Well, right, and that was the other confusing thing because it looked like there was almost an accident in the back with the cars, but they didn't really address it. And that's the other thing.
Did you see Rikishi's comment? He goes, "This time I didn't do it."
I didn't see that, but that's funny. That's funny. But overall, I think Raw was a decent show. We got Kevin Owens back, who just absolutely fucking destroyed Ezekiel.
And they're continuing.
He came back. I watched the Hulu version, so some stuff is cut off.
Oh, that's horrible.
I didn't see him.
Yeah. They had a one-on-one match, and Owens just fucking beat the shit out of him and then power bombed him on the apron. And
Legit.
they stopped.
So like squash status?
Yeah, it got
no, it was squash. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So are they gonna repackage Ezekiel and bring in Elrod?
It's a very good question. Listen, so Raw started. Well, actually, I think it started with Bayley promo, didn't it?
I think so.
I think the show started with a Bayley promo. Great promo. And then that whole thing set up for Clash at the Castle. It's going to be Bianca and Bliss and Asuka versus Control is what they're calling themselves, which is Bayley, Shirai, and Kai. So that set that up, and then it kind of started off the women's tag tournament, which surprisingly I was thinking that they were going to bring Toxic Attraction up from NXT to be a part of that, and apparently they did not, according to the brackets.
Right. Maybe they're still too important to the NXT roster, possibly.
It's possible. It's possible. And who knows? Maybe they'll end up in there somehow anyway. But in any event, the show basically started after that, wrestling-wise. Montez, it was Rollins versus Dawkins. And Montez got it thrown out of the match from ringside because he was trying to interfere. Ultimately, Rollins wins again. So it just further makes it seem like they're going to split the Street Profits, which sucks.
Which, shout out to Dawkins. I mean, he did phenomenal in that match versus Rollins.
He's a fucking beast.
Everyone talks a lot about Montez and Montez being the single star, being the, I guess, Shawn Michaels of that team to the Marty Jannetty of being Dawkins. And I got to tell you, man, that guy, Dawkins, it's the real deal, man. He was doing some things in that, and I was just like, this guy's moving fluent. He looks good. He's got himself a little bit leaner. So I don't know, man. If they do split up, which I don't want to, as I sit there on my little, red Solo cup.
Nice.
If they do split up, I hope both of them break out and have a successful run as single stars.
And not only that, what Steve had said about them a few weeks ago, do it amicably, So I'd rather have that because I really don't want to see either turn heel, honestly.
Well, does one have to turn heel?
Right, not right. Like you said, not necessarily. They could. They do, like they did mention something where Stephanie's going to hold the draft or something at some point, so they could do that, and But if they're going to break them up, I prefer them to do it amicably so they don't, because I think both have a lot of upside as baby faces.
Yeah, I mean it's very true.
Yep.
Leonardo Dodona, what's up, my friend? How are you? I miss you. So yeah, I don't know. I have such mixed emotions because I don't want to see them split, but I do think they can both be successful on their own. I agree. I don't think it's a Marty Jannetty situation.
Yeah, it's not going to be Otis and Tucker.
Right, exactly. So that's a promising thing, but I feel like at a time where we should be really focusing on tag teams, we're talking about possibly splitting the Street Profits, and it damn sure looks like Dominic and Ray are splitting, and Dominic's going to go heel.
Yeah.
So that just keeps building week after week after week. They had a little issue on Raw this week because of Edge and the spear and all that bullshit. So I think that's coming. It's a matter of time. So it's kind of one of those things like, why are we messing with all these, with all these tag teams at a time where I know Triple H believes in tag team wrestling. I mean, Evolution, DX, hello, like what the fuck? Horsemen, you know what I mean? So we got to see what's going to happen or how that's going to come to be. But we'll see. I mean, you've got this. I think I'm at a point too where I don't like Baylor as a heel. He does nothing for me as a heel. The whole Judgment Day has gone to shit. You want to split something up, you split up the Judgment Day and pretend it never happened. Treat us like we're stupid. They used to do that all the time.
That's true. Yeah,
right?
I mean, you're right though, because Balor is no heel, at least not like he was back in original Bullet Club days.
Right. So I don't know, But to start off the women's tag tournament, you had Dana Brooke and Tamina versus Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
I think they're taking the whole tournament, honestly.
Who, Sky and Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Unless somehow Banks and Naomi get involved.
Right.
But I think it would be really poor taste to bring them back and just give them the belts too.
Yeah.
But I will say, Kai and Sky together as a team, they were great. The match, I mean, it's Dana Brooke, so whatever.
And then together with Bayley is such a dynamic trio too.
Yeah. Although massive botch by Bayley. When she was introducing her team, instead of Dakota Kai, she called her Dakota Sky. And but I will tell you, she's such a fucking pro.
Oh yeah.
She just spun it right around and just started screaming at the crowd. I know I screwed it up, you idiots. You know, like that kind of thing. Like she did it.
She blamed it on
around
them. She's like, you guys got me all flustered, basically. They got her all worked up.
Right. She did a great job.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Hogan saying Silverdome instead of whatever at WrestleMania.
Or what's his face saying Summerfest instead of SummerSlam.
Oh, Jeremy Piven. Oh, my
Piven,
God.
yeah.
What about Jeff Harvey? Remember that one?
Yeah, that was a what's his face call? The dude from American Gladiators.
Yeah, what was his name again?
What the hell was his name?
It doesn't matter what his name is. Let's move on.
There you go.
Bobby Lashley Ciampa for the United States belt. It was a good match, but it ended exactly how I thought it would. Bobby Lashley wasn't losing to Ciampa.
Right. But Ciampa still looked good in it, and there were a few close calls where you thought he might win.
Yeah, and a great promo prior to the match where he dedicated it to Harley Race, which he claims trained him. I didn't realize that. That's
and he
cool.
had the robe and everything. And
I really thought he was rocking all the, like you said, the robe, right? He had the red, white, and blue, the trunks, all of it. Yeah. I was like, man, he's walking out champ.
Yeah, and like I said before, they're acknowledging the U.S. Championship much more in a meaningful way, and it's can only be good things.
Oh yeah. And our boy Ciampa doing a completely 180, like within 2 weeks. It's just wild.
Well, he's a Triple H guy.
He's a versatile performer.
It's just another example,
amazing,
of changes that Triple H is making for the better. He had such a great crop of NXT talent that Vince destroyed when they came up to the main roster.
Oh yeah.
Now they're getting what's due.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'd like to point out also that I guess you could say technically that SummerSlam was Tripp's first pay-per-view, but at the end of the day, though, it was also remnants of what the build-up before he came to Creative Power. So it was kind of trying to tie up loose ends from there too.
Right, I agree.
So that means the next pay-per-view, which I forget is what Clash of the Champ or whatever it is.
Clash at the Castle.
Okay, so that'll be that's in England.
Yeah.
And so that'll be that, and the next.
And let me tell you something. That should be a big fucking crowd, a loud one. They're always a great crowd. So it'll be interesting to see how this comes across.
Now it's in Cardiff, but I feel like especially since Triple H is now much more involved, eventually they're going to get to Wembley Stadium again.
I wouldn't be surprised. Why haven't they gone back to Wembley Stadium? Is there a reason?
Right, I don't know.
Where the fuck is Ryan when we need him? He's got to look that up for us. So next match, Omas returns. Yay! 2 jobbers.
Skip? Can we skip?
And he fucking destroys them. So I guess we're still hoping to have faith in Omas. And then you had Chad Gable versus Dolph Ziggler, which was an incredible match. Yes.
Damn it, I missed that too. I'm pissed off. Damn you, Hulu.
I'm actually surprised Hulu would cut that match. It was such a great match. Such a great match. And Dolph
That's a-
Ziggler went over, but what a
That's
great match.
Fucking wrestling match.
Yeah. And then the main event was Miz Styles, no DQ.
Yeah.
That was another great match. And then
Was there a Theory sighting?
there was no Theory sighting this week on Raw.
Really?
No,
Yeah,
I think
but again,
like
he
you had
missed
said last week, he had
Yeah.
like what was it, a death in the family or something?
I
Oh,
don't
did
have
he?
I don't have confirmation on that. The only thing I heard was that he missed the show for tragic reasons. It didn't specify that it was a death, although one would have to assume that
Okay.
that's probably what it
Because
was.
I heard it was like his uncle or something like that. I don't know.
No, because I mean, that guy. I mean, for all the stuff that we were talking and everything, he's money, bro. Young, he's great on the mic. The guy can go.
Yeah,
For
you're
all
right,
of the
though.
shit that we talk, right? Like
we need to clarify it. Like we just didn't think he was ready for the main event.
oh no,
yet.
1000%.
And it has nothing to do with because he's definitely a surefire talent that's going to go places.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, we have confirmation death in the family.
Oh man. But
So
he's young. He just turned 25. He's gonna be fine.
oh yeah, no, he's gonna be big. He's gonna be a big deal. He's talented as fuck. He's just not ready yet, but he'll get there. So I just got some interesting breaking news from Bleacher Report. Vince McMahon's personal payments have now totaled $19.6 million amid misconduct allegations.
so it went up 7 million.
Yeah, in a section filing Tuesday, WWE declared that former chairman and CEO Vince McMahon made two further previously undisclosed payments, one in 2007 and one in 2009, totaling $5 million, to bring his total undeclared personal payments up to $19.6 million. The payments were discovered amid a WWE investigation into allegations that McMahon paid millions of dollars in hush money to multiple women to keep quiet about alleged affairs and misconduct per the writer of this article.
How many dollars again? You said
$19.6 million.
Wow, millions of dollars. Wow. Where's Titus at? No.
Isn't that amazing?
That's insanity. Exactly. What? That's crazy.
Unreal.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What's going on in the world of AEW? I have not been keeping too much track. The last time I watched, I was upset and I didn't want to watch the new one. The last one I watched was this idiot, Daniel Garcia, actually getting the victory over Bryan Danielson.
Well,
I would say the big story would be Hook taking the FTW title.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And Starks turning face.
Yeah. And by the way, congratulations. Shout out to Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara as they just got married.
Whoopity-doo.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought they were already married, so I don't give a shit.
You thought they were already married. They've only been, I don't even think they've been dating a fucking year.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I just don't care. But either way, whatever. Congrats. I would say Christian is such an amazing heel. Like we already knew this, but he's just still killing it week after week.
He's incredible. His promo work has been unbelievable in this heel run in AEW. There is actually, before we even dive into that, there is something I did want to talk to you guys about. Have you guys heard the rumblings that Tony Khan is becoming very difficult to work with?
I have heard. That's interesting.
Some have gone on to say it's worse than McMahon and Pritchard, especially in the headsets. Like he freaks out, flips out, yelling and screaming, all this shit. Apparently one higher exec walked out and he had to run after them and beg them to stay or some shit. I don't know. It sounds almost like immaturity a little bit. I saw the wedding dress. Yes, I thought it was a beautiful dress. I could see Miss America in it, sure, I guess, but yeah, no, I thought she looked good. I mean, you know, she's a good looking woman. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, is Tony Khan like not all that he's made out to seem? You know.
There's also been there was a tweet by, I think it was Rusev Miro, whatever, or that he liked a tweet that said that he was used better in WWE, and then that sparked the whole thing. But then again, just because you like a comment doesn't necessarily mean you agree with it or anything. You could just like a comment.
Right. Everyone on all these trolls and everything, they're always looking for something. You know.
The advent of social media really has kind of killed wrestling, among many other things, to be honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's very hard to keep anything a secret.
Yeah, and you can't discuss anything without it ending up in some kind of argument. We can't be civil anymore, apparently. It's for all the good things that the internet was, it's also it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, I've heard guys like Bully Ray, say it on Busted Open Radio, and he says the internet really killed a lot of the wrestling business. I don't necessarily disagree. I'm always talking about the element of surprise in pro wrestling and how we don't get enough of it, although we've been getting it lately.
Yeah.
But, there's also like one of the biggest things that could happen in the WWE right now that would make national news, get ratings to be higher than they've been in years, is confirmed that The Rock is 100% for WrestleMania against Roman Reigns in Hollywood. But I don't really want to find out on social media. I want to be watching Raw 2 months before Mania, Roman talking tons of shit that he's been through everybody, and then I want to hear The Rock's fucking music out of left field, and I want to mark the fuck out, and then I want to take it all in, and I'm afraid that social media is going to ruin that.
Yeah, and so do we think that so it may not be Rock necessarily winning the Rumble, because especially if they take one of the titles off of Roman, then so then they don't have to do Rock winning the Rumble necessarily. Like, you could just lay out the
I don't know how much time The Rock is allowing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look, I'd be perfectly okay with him coming out as a surprise number 30 and winning the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. But I don't think, although, well, you know what? You raise a good point now, right? Because the winner of the Rumble gets the main event and goes after the champion. If Roman is still the only champion, then The Rock would have to win the Rumble to have the rights to face Roman Reigns. Otherwise, what's the point of having a Royal Rumble?
Yeah, otherwise, and like I said, the other version would be is if Roman does in fact lose one of the titles, and then there's two,
Yeah.
But either way, Roman is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania, regardless of whether he's won the Rumble or not.
Yeah, no, it's true. Hey guys, Vince's dad, Jim. Vince and the family are on vacation this week. He will be back next week. Jim, thank you for the update. I've been seeing some pictures. Looks like you guys are having a great time. I'm jealous. The beach looks great. Have a wonderful family vacation. And thank you for always listening. We love you. But yeah, so that's cool. But it's just the other part of me too is The Rock and Roman don't have to be for the belt. So then
Right. That's true too.
Do you take the belt off Roman before Mania? Eddie, I'm sorry, but I have to ask that question.
You're asking me that question?
No, I'm just saying, I'm sorry, but I do have to ask that question.
Oh, no, you do. Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess for business standpoint and
I understand,
me not having to sound like a complete mark for Roman, yes, in reality, in theory, yes. And as much as it pains me to say that with me saying these words, you probably would have to take the title, and you don't need a title for Roman versus Rock. It's a big enough match. It's up there where it's gonna put asses in seats and sell tickets. And at the end of the day, it would do its thing. But again, this is all hypothetical. If The Rock is even able to get the time off from Hollywood and do all the stuff that needs to be done, I don't see it. I don't think we're gonna get Rock. I think we're gonna get the American Nightmare versus probably Roman, but we'll see.
Yeah, the other thing for me is that if they don't need to rush things with carrying Cross either. Like I mentioned something about like this could be like just him doing what he did to Drew and then staring down Roman and the TikTok thing could be just like foreshadowing for a future, altercation. Like they could be separated maybe. Like they don't, because maybe establish Cross with some like other victories and like beating Drew or whatever, They don't
That's
necessarily
true.
mean to do it right now.
Right. I mean, there's no timetable on how long it takes for that hourglass to end, technically, right? So
I thought it takes an hour. No.
If we're tossing out congratulations, and all seriousness, seriously, congratulations to Ty and but the other one would be Sean Spears and Cassie Lee / Peyton Royce, the iconic,
having a baby.
are having a baby, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
it
awesome.
only took them 10 attempts.
I'm sure he didn't mind if it had to take 10, 20, 30, or 40 attempts for that matter.
Sweet, jeez.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was iconic.
Well, I guess the Iconics will not be back in the ring anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely not.
It also looks like Madcap Moss is sleeping with what's her face? Oh shit.
Was Tanel, right?
Yes, Dashwood, yeah.
Dashwood, Tanel
formerly
Dashwood.
Emma.
Yeah. Yes.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
She's another one that's gorgeous.
Yep. Do you think they take bubble baths? I'm on.
With the weird Hitler salute dancing.
Oh man. So I don't know. How are we feeling about? I mean, listen, I'm glad they're doing the women's tournament, but they're also doing a lot of makeshift tag teams now. Like, I don't really feel like Alexa Bliss and Asuka should be a tag team. I don't think they're going to win, so that's a good thing. But
yeah, and you kind of knew Tamina and Dana Brooke were not going to win.
Yeah, if you were to just to go back, if you were to name that tag team, what would you name Alexa Bliss and Asuka?
A moment of Asuka.
The Empress of Bliss.
Oh, that's not bad. The Empress of Bliss isn't terrible.
I don't know.
And they're also
just having some fun.
Just on a sidebar too, there has been confirmation WWE 2K23 is coming.
Ooh, you still haven't got this work from 2K22 from your boy. When you gonna get on that?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are, bro.
Bro, stop talking about it and be about it.
Hey, listen, don't sing it, bring it. I'll
you're ready,
whoop
bro.
that ass.
I'll whoop you and 10 others who look just like you. Let's go.
How is the online play? Is it smooth? I haven't even tried online, to be honest with you.
Nah, yeah, I had so far 0 problems with it. Haven't really messed. It's pretty smooth. I mean, but I also have Beast Wi-Fi. I have this, so the 1 gig. I'm good. I plug in into my PS5, plug in the Ethernet cable, and I'm good to go.
Nice. All right. Yeah,
Yeah, so let me know when you got time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's been a long time. So, Riddle returns next week on Raw. So that's some news. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with him now. Are they going to continue this whole thing with Seth Rollins?
Oh, you're right.
The only and this is like way down the line when Cody comes back, but they left it off with yet another most likely match with Cody and Rollins, which we've seen a billion times already.
What do
I
you
get
say?
it. We've seen it a lot of times, but they've all been home
But
run
they've all
matches.
been great matches, right? So it's
So
like, yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Too.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't. Well, good. We're probably not going to see Cody at least if we're lucky. But to Rumble, if he's healing good and
Yeah.
early, because they said 9 months out. If he comes in the Rumble, that's 7 months, I think, from injury from when it happened. So he's would have to make it back in what 2 months early. Um, so wish him the best and speed recovery on that. But I don't know, man. I don't. Like I said, they all been great. Cody and Rollins have been stealing shows, and I know Cody Singh is probably at home chomping at the bit, kicking himself in the ass because he was doing some of the best work when he got into WWE, and he was featured like top, like nonstop, and then to get that and basically derail a little your career, and then you have people like Karrion Kross coming in and easily can take that spot from you. It's kind of like, he's probably like, damn, was waiting.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man.
I also want
They
to talk about Montez Ford saying something about. He was talking about Rollins in the promo. He's like, "You fought Cody, who had only one boobie."
I remember that. That was funny. Oh, there's one other big piece of news we didn't mention. John Laurinaitis, Mr. People Power, has quietly been fired from WWE. So quiet that we all know about it.
I know, right? So John Laryngitis is out.
Yes.
People Power.
People Power.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
So that was news this week, and we also had news that Gail Kim has officially opened the door for Paige to come to Impact Wrestling. So where does Paige end up? Does she go to Impact? Does she go to AEW? Does Triple H bring her back?
I think with the women's division being as red hot as it is, you'd be a fool not to try to bring her back. I don't know why if you're Triple H, why you're not trying, right? That right there, forget about it. You already talk about a stacked women's division in WWE. Adding Paige would just be insanity.
You already have a built-in storyline with her and Sasha Banks, right off the bat.
1,000%, yeah. Yep.
Oh, I want to bring something up. Now, a week or so ago, we mentioned like the whole, like we kind of glossed over it, but because we're not really that into it, but the whole Ric Flair retirement thing, right? Now, they just had a thing in Puerto Rico for Carlos Colon's thing, the WWC, and Carlito was there. I saw a picture with Carlito and Charlotte together, but they did an altercation between Flair and Carlos, probably stemming from 40 years ago when they, kind of traded the NWA title. But it leads me to believe that, oh my God, what are we seeing Flair again? It's a little scary.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about a possible another match? As you're saying?
Yeah, I worry that they're leading to that, and I
Well,
really don't.
according again, I don't know, and I hope not, but and I, from what they said and how they advertised all of this, and I believe this even came from Flair. I don't know if you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but Flair has said that this is advertised as his last match, and this was it. Like he's done. I guess there was even talks and negotiations about someone else was interested in him possibly wrestling. I think 10 more matches and giving him $50,000 per match, and even Flair has said no, he's turned that down.
He did turn that
So,
down.
to my knowledge, like they did this whole big thing. They promoted it. I think we're done. I think we're done seeing Flair
But then
in the
it just
ring
makes
wrestling.
me question why they even bothered to do that thing in Puerto Rico. Then
Yeah,
He'll stay retired now, unless he gets another divorce, and then he needs the money to give it the ring.
Oh,
apparently
sweet
he's
Jesus.
back together. He's back together with Wendy. This divorce didn't take this time.
Yeah, I know. Let's see how long that lasts.
He just needs to stay off Space Mountain. Leave the blue pills alone, Nate. Just relax.
Mount
Boner
Everest,
pills.
baby. Mount Everest, baby.
Boner pills.
That's it.
Just to hear Ric Flair utter the words "boner pill" is
Is there
utterly
anyone
amazing.
better to promote a boner pill than Ric Flair? I mean, come on.
Well,
Speaking of
that's
him
true.
promoting, what is so? Is this real? Does Ric Flair legitimately have his own marijuana?
Yeah, apparently
his own
he has
strain,
his
yeah.
own
The Ric
strain
Flair
of
drip?
marijuana.
Is that what it's called? The Ric Flair drip?
Yes, and there's video of him smoking his own weed.
That is just insanity.
Woo!
Is that what it does? After every puff you take, you go woo.
I mean,
Oh my
if
God.
I get my
I
hands
would-
on that shit, I will.
Like, look, if we've seen a promo for Mount Everest, I'd love to see a promo for his marijuana strain. That would be awesome. I'm kidding here.
just say it.
Woo.
Is there
But
anything else to cover that recently that's been going on?
I mean, I think those are the real
Like
big
we all
bullets
but
right now.
praised Triple H for like everything he's been doing since
100%.
and it's well worth it because he's hitting it out of the park so far.
I'm not
And a lot
fast
faster
forwarding.
than any of us could have imagined or hoped for. I legitimately was like, if there's gonna be changes, I was saying myself, it ain't gonna happen to 2023. We're gonna have to wait a little bit, wait for that TV 14. Like things are happening at the speed of light, like just crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing how, like I even said last week, it's going to take time, this and that. And it's still like there's things that are going to take time, but man, is he making some good moves.
1,000%. Yeah. But like I said, you already noticed like the change, the things that you're saying, like you said, some of the banned words, things like that of that nature. It's crazy, bro.
Even commentary sounds a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they
You don't
seem
got
a little
Vince in your
more.
ear.
Well, not that, but like they're also not like explaining every little thing. They're letting you watch and not treat you like an imbecile. Like you can understand, like you can follow the bouncing ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like Corey Graves called out Michael Cole. He's like, I liked you better when you didn't have an opinion. And then Michael Cole goes, well, that's going to change now, buddy. Like,
right. Exactly.
Well, yeah,
like,
because you're not having Vince in their ears.
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously someone is in their ears as far as like things, but it's definitely different.
There's definitely a little more flexibility and freedom.
Yeah.
Which makes a huge difference.
Hey, for all we know, like, and we're all hoping Bray Wyatt at some point, right?
Yeah, well, he's busy. Supposedly he's making movies right now. They say he's making a horror movie or something. Hopefully, with somebody he's doing. So he's out. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know, man. But like I said, if there's anyone who can get him, right, it would be Triple H, right? So you
Right.
figure that
But
out
again,
and see how that
there's
goes.
not necessarily a rush either.
Oh no, you someone like that, you got to take your fucking time. You got to.
The problem with Bray Wyatt was that he had too much of an opinion.
Yeah.
And he created this character. He wanted to have more say of the direction, and he didn't get it.
I think
Yeah.
he will.
And that
under
caused
Triple H, though.
and that caused
Mhm.
a lot of turmoil, which
Yep.
is why he ultimately got released.
Yeah. But now,
I agree with Eric.
yeah. But
At
now
this
you said
point,
with Triple H, yeah.
with Triple H
Yep.
steering the ship, you got a better chance now than ever to have Bray Wyatt the Fiend or Wyatt 6, whatever the fuck we're gonna call him now. And he'll have a lot more freedom, which will make it even better. So I'm excited to see, because, again, but there's gotta be a build, and it's gotta be quiet. I just,
because the man himself, Wyndham Rotunda, he's so dynamic as a performer, and his he's going to be Bray Wyatt, but he isn't necessarily going to be the Fiend again. He's so good that he can completely redo his character yet again and hit it out of the park like he's always done.
Oh yeah, without question.
This is a guy that was fucking Husky Harris, And
yeah. I mean, for me, I've loved every version of Bray Wyatt. I want the Fiend to be what comes back. I was a big fan of the whole Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt, and then the Fiend character.
Well, now Buff Bagwell is Mr. Rogers.
I'm okay with you putting Alexa Bliss back in the mix.
Yep.
I think they'll leave that alone. But we'll see.
Bliss still has the doll, so there's still, they could still do that.
And she's still a little quirky.
Yeah.
So they're leaving that open a little bit.
Yeah. But I was saying now Buff Bagwell apparently is Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I saw the picture. He looked retarded. He looked like a creepy old man.
Well, listen, if Triple H is out there taking he's speaking to Logan Paul. He was on Logan Paul's podcast, and he said he's taking criticism from people like Logan Paul. He's like, listen, I'll take not criticism, but whatever you guys have, if you have any good ideas or anything like that, that goes to show me that Bray Wyatt can now go to Triple H and be like, hey, these are my ideas for my character. This is where I want to go. Help me get there. And hopefully we can, get there. I know we've got to wrap it up, Steve, so I'll let you do your thing, but that's it.
Yeah, so we have reached the top of the hour. Thank you all for joining. You can follow us on all platforms that you can hear a podcast. Every single one of them, it's either at TagMeADate or at The War Report, brought to you by TagMeADate. We're here live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Make sure you check us out. Tell your friends. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and even TikTok. We're everywhere. So check it out. Interact with us like everyone does when they check us out live. But we appreciate everyone. And we will be back live 6 p.m. next week. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will check you out on the flip side.